It's time to dive beneath the surface and into the minds and hearts of your favorite celebrities and pop culture icons. Welcome to Up and Adam.
Hey guys, what's up? You're watching Up and Adam. My name's Adam Newell. And for those of you who don't know me, I'm the guy bringing you guys all the weekly interviews and recaps from your favorite celebrities and pop culture influencers. But for those of you who do know me, you know that that's not why we're always here, right? Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And with that, let's jump right in. Okay, guys, so we're back to talk about Erika Girardi, Erika Jane, Erika Jahoy, whatever you want to call her. I know you guys get frustrated with me when I say that, but still have to say it because this is one of the biggest scandals in pop culture and more so Bravo history. I always say this too, aside from Teresa Giudice and Jen Shah. Okay, we get it. Well, after the documentary came out on Hulu, The Housewife and the Hustler, everyone wanted to know, one, was Erika Girardi watching it? And two, how is she coping with it? Well, one of her co-stars has actually spoken out about this. Kyle Richards, we see you, and let us know exactly how she's coping with it. Now, for Erika, again, fans were speculating that she would not even watch the documentary because who could stomach it knowing that this is about your life? It's literally in the title, The Housewife and the Hustler. So Erika, as far as whether she knew anything or didn't know anything, that's still up in the air. Nobody really knows. What we do know is that Ronald Richards, again, was brought on the case, and he is going to do his best to make sure if there's anything to be found, it will be found. We did an interview with Ronald Richards, and he's very vocal about his thoughts on Erika, whether it's on social media or even in interviews. And our interview even got brought into the court case. When I was told that it was brought into the court case, I immediately called my friend Emily D. Baker, and I was like, oh my gosh, what does this mean? Am I in trouble? Because I didn't say anything bad. I just wanted to ask the attorney who's brought onto the case what's going on, and if he can break down what the legal jargon is that he's posting on social media. Oh my gosh, I was so nervous about this, but apparently everything is fine, and they just want Ronald Richards to stop talking about Erika in a tabloid-like way. They're fighting so hard, Erika Girardi and her defense team, to get him off of the case because they feel like he doesn't paint her in a good light, which right now it's kind of hard to paint anyone involved in this who's trying to defend themselves in a good light. And they feel like he's enjoying this sort of publicity that he's getting from tweeting about the case, I guess is the best way possible. They feel like he is going out there and slandering her name, her position in all of this, making her look bad, painting her in a worse light than she actually needs to be, and trying to sway people into thinking she's someone worse than she actually is. Now, for Ronald Richards, he feels like this is all deflection. And I guess he's just saying, listen, he wants to see the financial documents. He feels like this is a way for them to avoid handing over the financial documents. He says that she's not cooperating, that they filed many motions in order to look at the books, look at the receipts, look at the pay stubs, look at the lease, everything that has to do with her, her new home, her new car, her company, EJ Global. He wants to know all of the stuff and the finances that go into all of that. And he feels like they're using this, oh, Ronald Richards is mean, as kind of a way to deflect and not have to hand those things over. And as for Ronald Richards, I believe he feels like this is not going to work. Now, getting back to it, we were here to talk about Kyle Richards talking out for the first time as to how Erika Girardi is doing since The Housewife and the Hustler came out. Even though she said she's coping, this is what she said. I don't want to put words in her mouth. Kyle said, I mean, you know, it's obviously a hard time, but she's doing okay. To me, it's easy to judge someone who's on reality television. And Erika's been dealing with that for years, even before she was on reality television. I think she's talking about the fact that she's much younger than her husband. She was married to a power attorney, how the firm looked at her when she would show up, when she would go greet her husband, and how the other lawyers looked at her as well. Hold on, there's more. So when the audience watches the show, they have to remember this was 6 months ago. It was all literally unfolding while we were filming. Every day it was another story, another headline, another article, something coming out, and some of them were devastating. And she said, I'm sure people were like, oh, she knew, and all of that shady stuff that they're talking about. But really, if you knew Erika, you would think in your mind, well, why would she know? Why would she have known any of this, especially due to the dynamic of her and her husband, their relationship? And again, we talked about this, but the sort of don't speak unless you've been spoken to. I'm king. You drive your fancy cars, do your glam, whatever, but don't ask me questions. It's kind of like a Teresa Joe Giudice situation, but on a much larger scale. Hold on, there's more. She added that she doesn't feel that Tom Girardi, one of the biggest attorneys in the world, was going through all of this, the alleged embezzlement, everything, and then going home to his wife and being like, listen, honey, this is what happened at work. That's not the relationship that they had. And she's going to continue to have a very difficult time. Kyle teased that we're going to see all of this unfold, but in the moment right now, she's having a very, very, very difficult time, which I could only imagine, because think about it. This is all in the press. She's being reamed every which direction. She has those of, those fans who are looking at her and already convicting her of wrongdoing. And then she has the ones who are standing behind her and supporting her wholeheartedly. It's all playing out. It's all going to continue to play out. There's so much for them to comb through as far as the court. This is not going to go away anytime soon. And I'm sure this probably has to be one of the most stressful times in Erika's life. Kyle also pointed out the fact that there's a big difference between defending Erika and supporting Erika. She said that she's not defending Erika because she doesn't know. If she knew for 100% like a fact that Erika wasn't involved, then she would be defending her, but she doesn't know. So for now, she's going to continue to support her because that's her friend. And that's where she stands. And I think that's a great position to be in. I don't think you should blindly support somebody or defend somebody. I think you can support anyone, but I don't think you should blindly defend someone and say they didn't do something if you don't have all of the answers, especially because we know Erika Girardi is pretty much a closed book. I mean, she doesn't really open up about a lot of the things that were happening behind the scenes with her husband. She is known as the Ice Queen on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We don't get to see her talk much about her relationship and that dynamic up until this past episode. Yeah, I can see why you wouldn't want to blindly defend somebody that you don't really know what's going on behind closed doors and in their life. So again, Kyle, I think that was the best way to go. Of course, you guys know that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills will be back tomorrow night, and we will be doing a live on Thursday covering it because I want to know, one, what's going on in the upcoming episode, and two, how we feel about what's being said. We're all watching it like with popcorn on pins and needles, just looking like waiting for something to be said, waiting for something to be shared that we didn't know. And who knows if we're going to get that, but it's definitely going to keep all of us on our toes. I'm also just wondering how much more forthcoming Erika Girardi is going to be. Again, Andy Cohen said after watching the documentary that he doesn't feel like she or her position on the show will be affected by this documentary. He also applauded the fact that, she is being forthcoming with all of the information that she is. She's talking about things. She's giving us answers as far as what her relationship looked like and why she decided to get a divorce. She's also claiming she didn't know anything that was going on behind the scenes when it came to this alleged embezzlement. And she said only Tom has those answers. So I'm just interested in seeing how this continues to unfold. And I'm surprised that Andy Cohen kind of let us know already, I don't think any of this is going to affect her position on the show. A lot of fans feel like they want Erika off the show because they don't want to see her boasting her jewels, her designer clothes, her, lavish lifestyle, this extravagant lifestyle, knowing that it was built off of the backs of victims, creditors, debtors, burn victims, plane crash victims, earthquake victims, boat crash victims. It's a lot, and it's kind of hard to stomach, even though some of the other housewives have spoken out about this. Even Kelly Dodd said, I watched the documentary and it made me cry. It's really, really hard to watch. But if she wasn't involved, it shouldn't take away her position on the show. That's how people feel. But if there was any idea that this was going on, fans are calling for her to be fired immediately. Is that even something that we'll know? Or is that something that will only be spoken about in court? Well, then again, if Ronald Richards is there too, he'll share it for sure. Oh, guys, this is a lot. If you haven't already, go ahead and answer the questions to which I asked. How do you feel about Kyle saying that, Erika is coping, talking about how she is after the Housewife and the Hustler, and not blindly defending her, but supporting her. And are you guys going to be joining us live on Thursday? If you haven't already, go ahead, comment below. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.
Thanks for watching Up and Adam.